Over the past school year, we have been conducting an experiment to help solve challenges in schools, seeking new ways to engage parents and caregivers in the life of their children's school. We used a model that has emerged from the Learning Sciences Exchange, a program at New America that brings together mid-career fellows. We had 3 in education leadership, as well as a researcher who studies how children learn, a journalist, a children's book author with expertise in family engagement, and a social entrepreneur who uses tech and media to help children learn. We centered our work in southwestern Pennsylvania, working in partnership with an innovative program called Parents as Allies, which had already laid a foundation for listening to parents and opening dialogue between parents and educators. Our fellows were able to work together at 3 different schools to take the feedback and ideas from parents and come up with simple yet transformative ways of helping parents and educators communicate and learn from each other.
The first project, the principal there recognized that there were a lot of needs in the community, and while there were a lot of resources available to them, she didn't think that parents necessarily knew how to find all the resources that were there. And so we created a map that included graphics showing what type of resources available, whether it's clothing or food or housing resources, mental health supports.
And then going forward, thinking of next school year, we have a registration packet that all families have to fill out, and having the map already there. So if you're a new family coming in, you kind of know exactly where to go. Also putting it on the website. So if you lose the map, you can easily access it. And then also having it in different languages, because we have a huge EL population. And we also want them to feel kind of welcome to be able to use the resources.
We were doing some surveys with parents. Just how are we doing on parent engagement? What could help you more? What maybe is a need that you have? They were sharing with us that they don't know where to find certain information. And we sat back and we reflected. We were using the Remind app, which is a wonderful tool. We were using Class Dojo. We were using our website. We were using our student information system. We were sharing a lot out there, but we weren't putting the most useful information in one place and staying consistent with that. So we created a flyer, and right now we have folders that go home with our students every night and come back. So we are going to put this flyer in the front of that folder so it's easy access for parents, and there's a QR code on it. They scan that QR code with their cell phone, and we learned that from our parent interviews that they like using their cell phone to find information. And it opens up a Padlet, and that Padlet is separated into sections. We have our school calendar in there. We have our upcoming events on there. We have videos that helps parents access programs from home. It's just a hub so they don't have to look around on a website or look around in folders for papers. Anything that is essential to help their child be successful when they're not in school, or help them feel comfortable and empowered to know how to help their student, is in that hub.
Families are navigating complex lives already with limited time and bandwidth, right? Families think they're working 2 jobs, perhaps even 3 jobs. Or they might be a stay-at-home moms having to care not only for children, but perhaps for their families. And I think if we really want them to engage with educational tools, those tools must be clear, centralized, and culturally sustaining. And I think really easy to use, right? Streamlining resources can help reduce, the cognitive overload, can eliminate redundancy, and can increase the likelihood of the family using them consistently and being more confident using them.
What we first did was we actually had a roundtable with families that moved in. Together we sat around the table, and I just had the parents throw out ideas. The families had great ideas. One of their ideas was they did not like our calendar. It was a 1-page, black and white, very basic calendar, and that was something that everyone said was like, we've never seen a calendar like that. We don't understand it. So there were 2 prongs that we focused on, all under the umbrella of working with new or move-in families. So the first was our calendar project and taking our one-page calendar and making it more family user-friendly. The second project that we worked on, also related to new families, was creating neighborhood resources and families that they could go to. So one idea through the design process was looking at homeroom parents, but we found out through talking to families and doing some of our interviews, families felt supported by their child's homeroom teacher and the community that was already there with parents. But what they needed support with was finding resources in the community and meeting new friends and neighbors in the community.
And in order to build and be successful and connect the schools and the families and build that bridge, as we did with Bridge Builders, we have to gain a better relationship with the parents and, again, get their clarity, get their understanding, and meet their needs. So it's important that we listen. That's always important, that we become better listeners and not thinking as administrators or as the people who have the degrees in education that we know it all, because the parents are ultimately the ones who know their children.
Something that I keep thinking about this whole experience is how, from the perspective of social entrepreneurship, it has the same elements as social entrepreneurs always work with. Like there's some social problem you want to help to solve. There's the people that you are trying to help, and there's the product, the solution that you are building. But just by including the people that you are designing for in the process, since the brainstorm, since the inception of everything, it changed everything.
But I had a real aha moment when we were in Pittsburgh and talking to families. And it was just like, oh, this is a huge social capital tool. Like, this is a way to really enhance and increase the social capital of families that are able to participate in this program. In fact, we are planting the seeds for a really big impact down the line.